Hi, I'm Jimmy Schmidt here today for Fresh Meals. Tips, tricks for the food service professional. Today we're going to talk about soups. Soups are wonderful. They are full of flavor, they're a great vehicle to capture all kinds of nutrition, and they're really very simple to make. One of the keys to get started on any type of soup that we've shown you in a couple of other of the classes is foil cooking, where you take fennel or peppers or tomatoes or pumpkin or squashes and you roast them, even potatoes, and you can take those and put them directly into light vegetable stock, puree them, and you've got an instant soup. So they're really a fabulous way in that direction. For vegetables that are a little bit more delicate, that are not going to go through the foil technique, such as corn, I'm going to show you how to tackle those today. So we're going to start off with some beautiful fresh corn. The corn is absolutely just bursting with flavor, but we've got to get it off the cob and do a little bit more to capture all of its flavor. We're going to start by taking a sharp knife and just taking it off the cob. And you don't have to be too picky about getting a perfect cut. You can be as rough as you want. It doesn't really matter. You just want to knock these kernels loose to expose really all the sweetness and starch that's underneath. Take the back of the knife and scrape down the cob afterwards. And this is where you release some of the best part of the corn itself, which is the pulp, which you can see on the back of my knife developing here. This is where the flavor of the corn really is hanging out. So we'll just kind of knock that down. Then we'll take it, throw the cob into water, along with all of our kernels here, and put it all into a little water, like so. And then I love the flavor of ginger. You can use either stem ginger or some of the cheat and have some of the puree already done. Throw a little ginger in there and a little bit of onion. Now we're going to take this, kind of mix it up. I already got a head start on it. We're going to take it and throw it on the stove. Bring it to a simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes just to extract all that flavor out of the corn and get the corn flavor developed. Okay, we pulled it just right off the fire. The corn is just absolutely, the aromatics on it are wonderful. We've got some great flavor here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in just a little bit of cornmeal. You can add it before or after, just into it to thicken it to the desired texture that we want. Probably just a tablespoon or two is going to work for this situation. You can tell very quickly in the blender. Now we're just going to move those ears of corn away a little bit so we can extract this viscous liquid. Now the corn itself is high in starch, so it will thicken the soup some on its own. The cornmeal is just that same flavor profile that kicks it up to the texture that it's a nice thick soup. All natural. You can also use cornmeal in other soups to thicken it, or you can use rice, quinoa, black beans. Use them as a starch element to make your soup, and you'll be adding flavor rather than white flour or such as a thickening agent. Now we're just going to take this and start slowly. The big trick on pureeing is that as the hot soup hits the air, it expands the air that pushes up on the top and sometimes splashes, so start slow. Now if you want a little touch of salt at this point, you would add it in here just as a final flavor note. And then if you'd like it a little creamy, you can always add a little bit of yogurt, although on its own it's going to be very creamy. Look at the beautiful texture and the color that's coming out of it. It's just incredible. So now that we have our soup done, try some unusual garnishes. I've actually flattened out some chicken wings after taking the bones out so it's a little easier to eat. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of red hot sauce, which is a natural for these flavors. Corn and red hot just seems to go naturally together. I'm going to stack up a few of these guys in the center of the bowl, or you can make a relish of it to put in the bowl. And then take your soup and pour it around it so you can still see the garnish. The soup just smells incredible. And if you like green things, a little chives are not bad either. Beautiful soup. So here we have a great corn chowder that we've made very, very simply with some corn, some water, some onions, and a little bit of cornmeal for natural thickening. It captures all the flavor of the corn. Use the same technique for other vegetables, using other thickeners that are natural and that add flavor to it. And then come up with some interesting proteins and other flavors in the center for garnish, and you'll have a soup that's a meal, and it packs a heck of a nutritional profile. So for Fresh Meals, it's Jimmy Schmidt. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy.